Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Toxic Talks, episode number 32. And, you know, we've had a very, very nice week. Some tough days, some easy days, but all good. And we got a little bit to go over, so what better place than War Thunder? And as it goes, we are nearing the end of the Japanese grind, which should be very, very good, as you guys can see from the video we are playing from stream. We are currently, I believe this one is the AJ, but we're about 50,000 RP away from the F2, which means basically once we get the F2 and the modifications, we're done with Japan Air. And in terms of Japan ground, we ended up getting our TKX, our Type 90B, and we are currently working towards the Type 10 and the normal TKX or the top tier TKX with the good ass dart. So that should be very, very nice. But it still should take about, I want to say, 2 weeks. I don't want to go too much into detail, but basically, this is going to be a short week for me. I am going to a wedding this week. I know ToXc taking another break only after like what, 2 months? Unheard of, unheard of. But yeah, we're going to a wedding. We're going back home. It's basically our neighbor and family friend who's basically been there from the beginning, the get go, all that good stuff. And yeah, she's getting married, so I'll be gone for 4 days, technically three of which are basically days that I stream and all that good stuff. But I think it's gonna be Thursday to Sunday, so we won't be basically back until Monday. But I'll be basically making a another episode of Toxic Talks with only within a few days. So you guys will hear that from me. Basically, the plan and what's gone on this week, and then I'll talk more in depth about how the wedding basically went in like 2 weeks. So that should be fun. But you know, once we're done with that, we'll only have a week left of War Thunder, or sorry, not War Thunder, of the Japan grind. So basically, within 2 weeks from today, we should be basically going to Germany. So I'm happy about that. We have our Leo 2A4M top tier, and then we have the Swiss 9.0, but in the German tech tree. So it should be good. But that's at least the plan for War Thunder. Nothing too crazy. No basically things to talk about that. We're just trying to get through it as quickly as possible because I am really excited for Germany. I won't lie. Even though Germany, again, I always say this is just the worst version of Sweden. But what can you do? What can you do? As it goes for other things in gaming, we I want to say we're done with Expedition 33 for a bit. Not that I don't enjoy playing it, but basically what I want to do is I want to go through another playthrough. I forgot there's one last thing I need to get that's a little secret. It's the baguette weapons for all the characters that I want to get. So I need to do that. But then I also want to do the story, but as I'm going through, I'm just like, nah, it's not been enough time for me to do the story. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait quite a bit to do Expedition 33, or the last playthrough pretty much, for a while. So there not might not be too much to talk about for Expedition 33 for a while. So this is going to be my final reminder for quite a bit. If you guys have not played Expedition 33, please go and do it. Please. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. But as it goes for Night Rain, we haven't really played it too much this week. We played a little bit at the beginning of the week with Carnage. Get basically through the Everdarks, the new ones as they come out, and just have a good time. But it seems like Night Rain is sort of slowly dwindling down. in terms of that, which I mean puts us in a little bit of a predicament. Like, what are we gonna play? But you know, what can you say? What can you say? I like we're sort of at that weird time because school is starting back up. You know, a lot of people are telling me, "Hey, I got school this week or I got school next week," and it's just like, "Oh no." But that means slow releases for video games. But you know, they did release the Battlefield 6 gameplay as well as I think the beta is out. I'm not planning on playing the beta. I don't need to play the beta. But I've seen quite a few people play it, and I'll say this, more than likely I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to say too much in terms of this, but for those who have been with me for quite a bit, who keep up with my content quite a bit, I've already talked to an old friend of mine from way, 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 way back when, probably, I want to say 2 years, maybe even 3 years from now. And more than likely, we're going to be playing it together. So I'm going to keep that hush hush until it actually happens. I'm going to keep it hush hush, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. So that's going to be October 10th. And then, obviously, as you guys know, October 30th, we're going to be doing Arc Raiders, which I'm extraordinarily excited for. Extraordinarily excited for. But that's what we have in terms of gaming. Uh, you know, I will say this. Eh, as time is going on, can't really say I've been having too much of interesting weeks. Like this past week, I will say this, quite a bit of relaxing. I've sat in my beanbag. I've watched movies. I haven't really. I wouldn't say lazy, but like I'm constantly moving. I'm constantly doing this. I'm constantly doing that. And I don't take too much time to just like chill. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you do way too much. You do way too much." It's like, no, like the majority of my time is filled with some nonsense and, I I really do need time to relax. And this by the way, this goes into the weekly advice for you guys, but there was a podcast, or I should say a reel of a podcast that I saw recently where it was this guy talking to this woman, and this woman was like, "Well, why don't you guys just do nothing in your free time?" And the guys respond to her. And by the way, this is talking about like guys being so burnt out all the time. And this, by the way, this doesn't just go for guys, but is very prominent in guys. And the guys respond to her, and and they're like, "Well, because when we want to relax, you guys want to go like apple picking or go fucking shopping or do something. Like guys like never get like a fucking second to just breathe. So when we do, oh my god, we enjoy it, we cherish it. You want to know something? Like, I mean, even for this extended weekend, I don't get extended weekends all too much. Again, like I always say, this is going to be my second one this year. But like, even like take last year. Last year, I had July 4th off and then the week of Christmas and New Year's. And that was it. And I worked the entire rest of the time through, and or like basically was preoccupied with something. So, you know, finally being able to do that, where I just have nothing, where I just literally just scroll on my phone. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to do this for forever. But it's sort of that perfect time right now. It's sort of that perfect like area where like we're sort of, I don't want to say in between games, but there's nothing exciting in gaming currently right now. And there's nothing really crazy going on in my life, so much so. So I just, and this will probably won't happen for quite a bit of time, but I'm just cherishing doing nothing. I am enjoying the absolute shit out of it. And this sort of goes to my weekly advice for you guys, which is, you know, the world is always rushing, the world is always moving, you're always doing something. When you have the opportunity to do nothing, fucking take it. Take it. And here's the thing. I know it's so foreign to people. I know it's so foreign. Like I need to do something. I need to do something. Like or like I'm just wasting my time. Why do you think you don't get a day off or a vacation or just time to do nothing? Why do you think you don't deserve it? Like everyone takes time off to relax. Everyone does. Do you think that Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or literally anyone? I mean, I could bring up like just normal like people like in terms of gaming. Like take any freaking streamer you want, take any content creator you want. They take time off. Take anyone in any business, they take time off. I don't know where we got this really fucked up concept in like I would say the 21st century where oh, it's not good to take time off, but like you need to. You need to take time off. Otherwise, it's going to be terrible for your health. I mean, beyond just like it just being something that you should do for I guess personal reasons, it's also good for your mental health and for those around you. Like, could you imagine working 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, like I don't know, like 60 years in a row? You'd fucking die by year 12. You'd be exhausted. You wouldn't be able to do shit. So, my weekly advice is never feel bad for taking time off and just relaxing. Never feel bad for doing nothing. And you want to know something? I've had people try to come to me and be like, "Yeah, you should feel bad for doing it. Why do you do nothing? Like you got to do something." And I'm just like, "Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. If you want to be miserable at fucking 30 and wonder why you're so tired all the fucking time. Like, I mean, I see reels, I see people in real life. I see it all the time. I see people where they're just like by 30 they're just out of it. They're just out of it. They're just like, "Oh my." And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I want to be able to go until I'm fucking 60, 70, 80 and have a good time. And I know I won't be able to do that if every single second of every single day I'm just going fucking crazy. And this, I guess this also goes towards something else. This is just something that I thought of, but this doesn't really necessarily have to do with sort of physical health, more so mental health. But I saw something a while ago. This was like a while ago, where basically the mental I don't know what the right word is, oppression or aggression or just like the barrage of bullshit that basically people born between like 1990 and like 2010 what they're having to deal with is worse than like what was it, like a 1940s like mental ward pretty much. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't know the comparison. I can't really say the comparison, but I'll tell you this much: in terms of right now, it's not a good time to to be grinding, you know. And I mean that's a whole nother discussion how the world economy and how everything is going. But you know, I will say this as someone who takes breaks whenever they can, and again, I don't take breaks all too often. I would say that, I would say that my mental health is probably better than most. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the greatest. I wouldn't say it's in perfect fucking condition because far from it. Far from it. But I will say this: I'm able to wake up every day and be like, let's do this. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, like, they're just like, dude, I don't even want to get out of bed today. And trust me, I understand it. I understand it. And I will say this: a lot of that probably has to do with people not taking their time and relaxing. So please, 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 please do not feel bad. Do not feel discouraged. And definitely don't let anyone tell you that taking a day off every now and then is bad for you. Don't let them call you lazy. Now, again, there's a fine line between being lazy and a fine line between taking a day off every now and then. There is a fine line. But if it's every now and then, just to recenter yourself and get back in the groove, do it. It's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for you. But that's all I have for you guys in this episode of Toxic Talks. I know that it wasn't too crazy this week. Hopefully, I don't think the next one will be too crazy either. But the week after, we'll talk about the wedding and all that good stuff. But I will say this: as we get closer and closer to October, and even in October, we're gonna have a good time talking about gaming because apparently there's a lot of good stuff coming out. But we'll see what happens in terms of life. We'll get some stories for you guys. Don't you worry. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys. So I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. And as always, take care. And I'll talk to you guys later.